G'day all, welcome to Riff of the Week this week. Now this week's riff, I don't like jumping on the bandwagon when a famous musician passes away, but when it's a musician that has inspired me over my life so far, then I feel as though I should do something to show my appreciation. I don't like jumping on the bandwagon when someone passes away that you must do a video on it. It's to me it's very cliche. It's very, sheep following the flock sort of thing. But I'm going to jump on the bandwagon with Ace Frehley because as much as I think, well, he didn't really influence me all that much. It's funny that the first lead break I ever learnt was a Kiss lead break, and it was Ace Frehley. The song is I Was Made for Loving You. I was back in 1980. Me and my sister were part of the Kiss army sort of thing. We weren't official, but everything Kiss. It was our favourite band. We grew up with it all. So to say that he hasn't impacted my playing, I would be lying. And the more I've looked at that song over the last couple of days, because I've just been playing along with it, it's a perfect example of, sometimes a little is enough. Instead of overdoing solos or overdoing guitar parts, it was just in the pocket, it was just simple, but it worked. You see people out there sweep picking these days, and they'll sweep pick over an A, and it just sounds ridiculous. It's like, come on, when is enough, and you start actually playing instead of sweeping all the time. So look, I'm not going to sit here and dribble on about what I do and don't like. I'm just going to run through bits of this. It's a riff of the week, but I'm sort of going to break it down a little bit because it's the parts that I appreciated about the song. And Ace Frehley was a simple player, but he just had that way about what he wrote that made it work. In other words, he was he was a brilliant musician underneath it all. So let's go. I'm going to talk you through this one. Now that's the opening solo part, the opening little solo riff. Simple, to the point, and it works. Not overdone. Now it's the main riff of the song. Again, it's what the song needed. If it had anything else, it wouldn't have worked. That. So that's. Again, it just works. It's a great hook. It gets you in. I remember hearing that song for the first time as a kid. Now I was 4 or 5, but I still remember the first time I heard that song. I can't remember where it was, but it was like, oh my God, this is why. This is. I need to listen to this again, sort of thing. So now it moves on to the solo. Again, not an overly difficult solo, but it just works. And what more can you need? What more would you need to say in the context of that song? Look, now again, this is not a traditional riff of the week, but this is a song that has been stuck in my head for the last couple of weeks since Ace did pass away. I was asked to do a tribute video to him. This is my tribute video. I'm doing it in my own time because I don't like jumping on that train, as I've mentioned. Look, let me know what you thought of Ace Frehley. Let me know if you grew up with Kiss music, or if you play guitar. What's your standout part, Ace, over his career? Just something like that. Like and subscribe if you haven't. I do this for the fun of it. I don't do it for gain. there's some things in the pipe work that might make me do a few product videos, but that's in the pipeline. It's nothing here or said. So yeah, let me know what you thought. Like and subscribe if you haven't. I hope you did enjoy this video. Next week I'll be looking at doing another one. I am going to keep Riff of the Week going. I've been asked by a few people to keep it going. Yeah, even though it's only low views, I still enjoy doing it. So I might go to, I don't know, instead of Riff of the Week, I might go to something like a Request of the Week or something like that, just to make things a little bit more interesting. Alright, enough of my babble. Hope you have a great week, and until next week, be good, behave, see yous.